What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Human League. Once again, big shout out to Han Solo for sharing their catalog, including the 1983 Fascination EP. The next tune in the playlist on Discogs is just called Hard Times. In the folder I'm working from, it's called Hard Times Love Action, which definitely seems to change the calculus of the title phrase a bit. Hard times, periods with difficulties and burdens, whether more specifically or more broadly, and the idea being that if you can, fight, if you can struggle, and if you can find ways around the impediments, you might find your way to brighter times, greener pastures. So that suggests a dynamic, a struggle, but then to bring in the phrase love action, which seems to play off of things more physical and sensual, I do wonder how those phrases somehow interact. Let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is the Human League, Hard Times, and perhaps also Love Action from the 1983 Fascination EP. just saying, I had a lot of fun with that tune, but I'll admit it's bonkers and perhaps in a few places a bit busy, which, I like when things are sometimes cacophonous and cyclonic and there's just a whole lot going on that you can't quite process in the moment. But again, there's just a couple moments here where it felt like, man, it's so layered but also insane at the same time, so it makes it feel a bit busier, even though I imagine a lot of that was by design. And yeah, it didn't feel like hard times for the most part, but the more dissonant sections, which again were sort of flaring right at the end again, like for I think the third time in the track, it gives it a bit of like, ooh, maybe things aren't so simple as the otherwise bright and funky feel of the tune. And again, it was like funky, but it felt more keyboard, like early 80s synth funky. I guess transitional maybe, less like overt big brass sections and, a funky bass lick, although there was definitely funky bass here. But yeah, it felt less like Duran Notorious, more somewhere between that and an earlier 80s like super synthy sound. So and again, I don't know if other people hear these things the same way. It's totally fine if you don't, and feel free to disagree. But yeah, as I said, there's like a moment here where it was like, it has this kind of free-ranging, I'm doing whatever I want improvisational feel, which that makes me think of a Prince tune. But it still had these synths and these melodic runs, these keyboard bits that's like, yeah, that does sound like Human League. So yeah, cool tune, one which I'm not quite sure what's happening lyrically. It seems like the lyrics are pretty few on the page and they sort of cycle around, but I like the deep Tibetan chant for Mr. Oki, ultimately or also, let me just try to like put those two words back together where they should be. Yeah, the female vocals again I think integrated well, so yeah, it's a very different sound from the early Human League. But again, it's interesting, Mark was saying, I think when I was at Mirror Man, when he was saying, yeah, this was cool, but we were sort of wondering, all right, like, where's a full album? Like, shouldn't you have another full album out by this point? So I, perhaps, if I was older and experiencing this in real time, would have had a similar feeling that, like, ooh, this is cool, but did he not have enough material for, like a 10-track album? So he released a, like, handful of track EP. It's funny, though, because there's a number of tunes in the folder, now that I say that. On Discogs, it lists it as having 6 tunes, whereas, let me see in the folder here that Han Solo has provided, there are in fact 8 items. So there's an instrumental of You Remind Me of Gold and the extended version of Mirror Man. So yeah, ultimately, oh wait, is the dub version? Hold on. Yeah. Oh wait, no, there's more than that. There's like a different type of file that I thought was like the end of the tracks in the folder, but I'm wrong. There's 10, so there's 4 additional / different versions of songs. So yeah, we'll go through whatever is relevant. If not all of them, just let me know. But either way, yeah, a cool tune and one that I don't quite know what's happening, and that means both lyrically and sonically, but it was great fun at the same time. So let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.